What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video. And hope everyone is having an extended vacation from DSP. That's right, we get 2 days off. Make sure to enjoy it. Make sure to relax. Make sure to decompress and come back on Sunday for more DSP content. And if you want DSP content, I know today will be a little slow, but Doody is actually streaming today. I'll be on at 10 o'clock. Probably gonna go for about 2 hours. Talk a little bit of Phil, Wings, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you got time and you got nothing better to do, come and chill. So right now, folks, we're going to be looking at the daily wrap. This is after a day of Tormented Soul, not Souls, because the only tormented person here is DSP, and Ninja Gaiden 4. So let's see what Phil had to say on the daily wrap.
Good evening, everybody. Phil here, and welcome to the daily wrap for what was Thursday, the 23rd of October, 2025, my final streaming day of the week. A really good one. Honestly, I think that today went really well, and it allowed us to kind of figure out how the schedule is going to settle in for the next week. Lots of stuff to discuss. Let's get right into it. We started off today with a shorter level 1 podcast. Typically, the podcast is 90 minutes or longer. Today, I kept it down to around an hour. Reason being, today was the release date of Tormented Souls 2, and I wanted to be sure to have enough time on release day to put in around 3 hours of gameplay to get a good taste for the game. So on today's show, we discussed a couple of topics. First off, one of the major things that we discussed is, what am I going to do about next week? Because next week we've got Outer Worlds 2 and the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection and my Halloween Marathon going on along with everything else that I'm already doing. Are you aware I'm juggling 6 games? Yeah, I am. So, because of that, we kind of came to an agreement. Now, I don't know if this will change or not, but I want to try Outer Worlds 2. Reviews are saying it's really good, but I have no clue how I could possibly do that with the amount of games that I'm playing right now. I mean, Silksong, Pokemon, Tormented Souls 2, Mario Galaxy 2, which is kind of on a hiatus now because I'm playing so many games, Ninja Gaiden 4, and then every once in a while playing American Truck Sim. How could I possibly play a lengthy RPG? It's just not possible. All right. So, if you actually take a look at November's release schedule, very, very empty. It seems like everyone just wanted to stay the heck away from Call of Duty this year, which is in the middle of November. So because of that, I think what we'll do is focus on the games we're playing now, add in Mortal Kombat next week, then just balance that for 2-3 weeks, beat what we can beat. I'm really foreseeing Silksong finishing soon, possibly another game that's on the shorter side, like a Tormented Souls 2 or Ninja Gaiden 4, making major progress. I really feel like we're going to be finishing up a couple of playthroughs in the next couple of weeks, and then we'll have space in the schedule. So I'm thinking Outer Worlds 2 can begin later. I hope people are okay with that. I understand that when a game gets great reviews, people want me to play it right away, but I really don't realistically see how that can happen with how many that I'm juggling right now. Okay? The other basis of discussion and big discussion today was Wings of Redemption.
All right, well, I'm going to stop it here, folks, because Mortal Kombat. Okay, Phil, so you're going to play Mortal Kombat. What happened with this whole not playing multiplayer games, rage-inducing games? You were no longer going to give Detractors content. You were going to starve us. What happened there, Phil? You changed your mind? What exactly are you going to do here? Are you going to try to play Mortal Kombat and only play the single-player campaign and then skip the multiplayer? What are you gonna do here, Phil? I'm very curious. And by the way, I'm not even sure what this Mortal Kombat game is. Is it the original Mortal Kombat where it's just single player? I don't think so. I mean, I'm pretty sure, you know, anytime they put a fighting game out, there should be some multiplayer component to it. I mean, I don't think they're just gonna pump out some single player campaign. But I don't know. Anyway, but what are you gonna do, Phil? What are you gonna do when you're gonna rage? And you're going to be upset, and you're going to seethe, and you're going to cope. And of course, it's just going to give nothing but free content to the detractors. And we know you're going to rage and seethe and everything. I mean, come on, Phil. I guess Phil, you know, like everything, whenever he throws something out, some new plan, whether it be suing detractors, whether it be creating new content, whether it be collaborate, whatever the hell it is, anytime he comes up with a new scheme or grift or something, he tries it for a little bit and then he rage quits it. Just like with multiplayer games and raging, he knows that contributions are drying up. The last 2 games, the last 2 streams he did, or the last 2, he barely hit the goal. He had to fake tip himself twice. I mean, come on, Phil. We all know you're going to go back to playing multiplayer. And again, the man that's supposed to be the fighting game hero, the fighting game champion, that's supposed to be your expertise. You're not going to go online and play against people, Phil? Really? You're going to really try that? Go ahead, I dare you. Play Mortal Kombat and just play the single player campaign. I guarantee you 95% of your chat, your community, your viewers are going to be crapping all over you, demanding that you play multiplayer. And if you don't do it, you're not going to get any contributions. And just like everything else, you're going to be forced to play it because the contributions aren't going to be forthcoming. Jack Raster throwing $25 at you isn't going to be enough to hit the goal. So you're going to be forced to play multiplayer. So let's see you wiggle out of this, okay, Phil? All right, let's see what he has to say about Wings of Redemption. If you don't know, Monday is the level 666 pounds podcast straight out of hell. It should be good and interesting. Let's see what he had to say about that.
And this week, multiple times, saying in his streams that he's going to appear on the Level 1 podcast this coming Monday. So I addressed it. And basically, the answer in a nutshell, there is no actual lock-in that he's going to be on my show on Monday. But I explained the entire situation on the podcast. You guys know me. I'm not someone who overpromises and underdelivers. So until everything's set and the details are locked, I'm not going to promise anything. I'll work on it over the next couple of days. I'll see what happens. And if it happens on Monday, great. And if not, it's not the end of the world. But let's hope for the best. Let's hope that Wings responds, and let's hope that something comes together. Okay? Now, after the podcast, we jumped into Tormented Souls 2.
All right, I'm going to stop you here because Doody got to say about that. All right, so without giving too much information, I know many of you guys know that I do have a couple contacts here and there that provide me information. So I do have a contact that is sort of, friendly with Wings of Redemption. And from what I heard, it's not going to be, I can't say too much without exposing the person. But let's just say the podcast isn't going to be that interesting. Don't worry. It's not going to be, we're not going to hear anything amazing. We're not going to hear anything groundbreaking. There's going to be no collaboration of lawsuits or whatever. It's basically going to be, two locals probably sitting there and talking about who has the worst detractors and glazing each other. It's going to be shit content, but whatever. I'll stream it. I'll watch it, whatever. Now, the possibility is that Wings won't show up. That's a very strong possibility where he either doesn't show up or shows up late, and it pisses off Phil to the point where he doesn't take Wings of Redemption's call. That will probably be the most interesting thing that we're going to have to wait on to see if it happens. But can you imagine DSP sitting there on his podcast thinking that Wings of Redemption is going to come on, and he's waiting and nothing happens? Do you know the fucking meltdown the man's going to have? It's going to be glorious. And the best part of it, I hope he doesn't show up and says, oh, I forgot, or I fell asleep, or I was busy getting Wendy's chili and completely forgot. I hope something like that happens, because the meltdown that will ensue will be great. So if any of you guys thought that there was going to be something amazing or blockbuster coming out of this interview, no, it isn't. I mean, I would just think of the Keemstar interview. I mean, but you never know. You never know. When you have two locales in a vicinity, I mean, it's extremely toxic, and that toxicity can, it's like noxious gases in a closed-in area. If you get enough of those sewer gases, there might be an explosion. So you never know. Is that going to happen? I truly doubt it. These are two limp PP people that are beaten down. They got nothing going for them. Between each other, they average 175 viewers a stream, and it's pretty sad and pathetic. So I don't expect anything major to come out of it, even if Wings of Redemption even bothers showing up. And that's a possibility. As lazy as he is, he might just either forget or not care, or of course his depression might get the best of him, and he won't show up. And the possibility too, his trolls are going to be in full force out there. Wings trolls are going to be out there harassing him on stream. And you never know, brother. That might just go away. It might just go away. Anyway, so those are my thoughts on Wings of Redemption being on the level 666 pounds podcast on Monday, folks.
Here's my feedback. Good graphics. Not the best I've ever seen, but pretty good graphics. Awesome lighting, I would say. Solid gameplay elements. Very similar to the first game, to be honest. It almost feels like it's the same game, only the extension of the same game. Throwback gameplay, puzzles, fixed camera angles. It feels like, once again, you're playing Resident Evil 2, Silent Hill 1 or 2. It totally feels like that, okay? If that's what you're looking for, it's your game. If not, You might find the game incredibly boring. You might think that it's too much of a slow burn, that not enough is going on in the realm of action or enemy variety. Listen, it's meant to be an homage to the classics. That's why you should play it. If you're looking for something groundbreaking, original, and it plays like a modern horror game, you're not going to get it here, and you should skip it. But for me, it is something that I really like. I love the classic horror games, and this is intriguing to me. I like it. Now, I will say this. We started off with really good engagement and support, and then all of a sudden, about halfway through the stream, attendance started to drift off. People in the chat started to talk about other topics and or get distracted and talk about other things or say that the game was boring. And that kind of got me. It's like, you know what this is. I played the first one. I've been telling you it's a throwback to classic survival horror. So unless you were looking for classic survival horror, why possibly would you have come to the stream? Like, what were you expecting? We know this isn't a modern game. I don't know. Anyway, here's what happened. So we're nearing the end of the stream, probably about an hour left. And we had like maybe 80 bucks of support. And I said to everyone, you know, disappointing. It is a launch day and I'm wondering what's going on. And then all of a sudden, someone comes by who's a regular and says, hey, Phil, I'm going to give you a big tip to hit the goal because I want you to hit the goal for the premiere. But just so you know, I love survival horror. I want to see this playthrough, but I can only be here on late streams. And quite frankly, I think survival horror works better on late streams. And to be honest, this person's right. Both Chronos the New Dawn and Silent Hill F worked better as late streams than they did as daytime streams. I think that horror just naturally gravitates towards the later hours of the day. In this case, playing it overnight seems to get more of an attention on stream. So we did hit the goal, but I'm going to take that feedback to heart. Especially because people on this premiere stream said they were getting bored. Maybe that means a night stream audience would like it better. So we're going to give that a try. What we're going to do is I've rearranged the schedule around so that Sunday now, Tormented Souls 2 will be a night stream. We're going to give it a go and see what happens. And if it works well, great. And if not, well, we got to figure out what to do with the game. Personally, I like it. I think it's timely right now for Halloween. I want to play it. But again, I'm juggling 5-6 games. If this ends up being a game you guys don't like overall, then we don't have to keep going with it. Although I would like to. I like it. Okay? So anyway, the stream did hit the goal, but it was mostly because one person did a big generous tip at the end, not really because everyone was loving it, okay? Just being transparent with all of you. Now, tonight's Ninja Gaiden 4 stream.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there, folks. So, well, that's a telling sign that he's saying there. The mere fact that he's looking for a reason to move it to a night stream just tells you that he lied about that tip, right? And the person he was referencing isn't a regular. I've never heard of this person, and he had some random message that sounded just like DSP. And whenever Phil starts saying, tries to convince people what he's saying is actually true, it's a lie. That was a fake donation, and it was the exact amount to get him to 150. He was just complaining the whole day. He was upset that he didn't hit support, and of course, he's trying to do his best to starve Detractors of content. So anything not to give Doody and Detractors a W, he's gonna do it. It's just so pathetic and sad. And the funny part too of all of this was that, of course, the Argentinian delegation was out there, and they were trolling Phil. There were some fake memberships, as Phil likes to call them. Final Wish threw out a 20 bomb, which turned out to be fake. And then, he kept trolling the guy. I think he ended up getting like 3 big bombs throughout the day, and which netted Phil like $1. So, again, I don't tell people how to detract. I think it's funny. Some people don't like it when people give Phil money. I think it's just funny, especially... I guess if you're going to give him any money to get a rise out of him, I guess do the little as much as possible to give him some money. But I thought it was funny. It was great. And of course, it made him cope and seethe and get him upset. And it was so pathetic. He had to try to rally the dents to give him support. Let's rally to stick it to the trolls. That famous nonsense from Phil. So yeah, I thought it was great. Big ups to the Argentinian delegation for making us laugh. So, let's see what else he has to say, but I'm probably going to cut it pretty soon. So let's see what he has to say now.
Dream shocked me. You want to know why? Because attendance was pretty good. Over 200 viewers on YouTube for a lot of it, which I wasn't expecting. Decent support everywhere. And not only did we hit, but we exceeded a goal. We had people coming by and hanging out and saying, wow, this game looks good. So what I think it is now that I'm into the flow of the game and I'm learning the combat and I'm doing better, people love it. I think I died once tonight. I died and I had to use the revive item. But outside of that, it was free-flowing combat. It was great. New enemies introduced, new mechanics introduced. Only thing is we didn't get a new weapon tonight. But 2 hours, we beat an entire chapter and a little more than that. It was an epic major boss fight. Pretty good. Pretty good progress for the game. I'm hearing it's 19 chapters long, and we're only in chapter 6. So this seems like it's going to be a longer one. Like some people are saying you could beat it in 10 hours. I'm like, yeah, if you don't explore, if you speed run, possibly. But, I'm here for the story. I'm here to explore, get the optional items. I'm doing everything. So, The more I play Ninja Gaiden 4, the more I'm liking it. I can't wait to get another weapon and another, combat style. But good stuff. Had a great time with it. Looking forward to more next week. And by the way, we hit and exceeded the support goal yet again. So we end the week at 5 out of 10 goals hit, meaning 5 more goals for next week to hit DSP Tries It Domino's Pizza. The first time I'm doing Domino's on DSP Tries It in over a decade. Yeah, pretty crazy to think that. It's so common of a food, but I never eat it. So it's going to be actually a pretty interesting episode, I feel. All right? So here's the deal. I am off for 2 days.
All right, no one cares. All right, so it sounded like he hit 5 goals, so essentially he streamed, what, 5 days? He ended up streaming 5 days, so that means that he only was at 10 streams, so he only hit 5. So he missed half of his day, half of his streams. He didn't hit the goal. So wow, that hasn't happened in quite a while. But of course, as we've stated before, we've done analysis of Phil's support, and again, he's back down to the money he was getting before the Kino Casino arc, and that's been for quite a while. Every so often there is a week where he does make some money, and it does help boost his overall money, but right now at this point he's making anywhere between $8,000 and $10,000 a month gross, and that's what he was making before Kino Casino, roughly $8,000 to $10,000. So yeah, I mean, Kino Casino's back, and the funny thing is he's back to banning people talking about sports. Remember when Kino Casino came around, he said, all right, guys, you guys could talk about whatever you want. It's perfectly fine. But now that the arc is over, the money's dried up, he's now banning anyone talking about sports, or anything unrelated to his gameplay. So the narcissist is back in full effect, and it's great to see. Anyway, folks, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, if you're looking for some more DSP content, I'll be streaming today at 10 o'clock. Hope to see you there. Peace out.